The story begins in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, where we meet a weather officer named Aaron. Aaron is being sent to a remote island in the South Atlantic, where his duty is to stay alone for 1 full year and record the island's weather conditions. After nearly 2 months of sea travel, the captain finally drops Aaron off at the island. The crew unloads all his supplies into a small cabin built on the rocky land. Every year, the government sends a weather officer to this island, but this place looks completely lifeless. No trees, no plants, nothing but sharp rocks and endless wind. The previous weather officer is nowhere to be found, and the cabin is left in total chaos, as if someone fled in a hurry. Nearby, there is also a watchtower. The captain is responsible for Aaron's safety, and something about the island feels wrong to him. So before leaving, he decides to check the watchtower with Aaron. The tower is surrounded by sharp wooden spikes, as if someone had built it to protect themselves from something terrifying. The captain calls out loudly, but no one opens the gate, so Aaron pushes it open himself. Inside, they find a man sleeping on the ground. The captain tells him that they've come to replace the weather officer and asks, what happened to the previous officer, Aldor Wingle? The man introduces himself as Gruner. He calmly says that the last weather officer died from a disease called typhus. Gruner's behavior feels strange and unsettling. Sensing danger, the captain offers Aaron a pistol before leaving. Aaron refuses to take it. The captain warns him, don't confuse stubbornness with courage. And with that, the ship leaves. Aaron is now completely alone for the next 12 months. He begins setting up his weather instruments. Inside the cabin, he finds the previous officer's diary. Inside the diary, there's a photo of a mysterious woman and several disturbing drawings of horrifying creatures shown attacking and eating humans. Aaron is shaken. Days pass. He records weather data every day, trying to stay focused. But something is coming, something that will change his life forever. One night, someone starts knocking on the door. Aaron freezes in fear and calls out, Mr. Gruner, is that you? No answer. Suddenly, a strange hand slips inside from under the door. Aaron panics and strikes it away. Now eerie sounds begin coming from all directions. Terrified, Aaron hides inside a small basement room beneath the cabin. Suddenly, everything goes silent, and then a creature suddenly jumps at him. Aaron attacks it with a knife, stabbing it desperately. He quickly ties the door shut with ropes and spends the entire night hiding in the basement, and strange footprints all over the ground. That's when he realizes the horrifying truth. There are multiple creatures on this island, and they come out of the ocean every night. Looking for safety, Aaron rushes to the watchtower, but the door is completely locked. He tries to break in, but fails. He calls out to Gruner, begging him to open the door. Gruner replies coldly, you should stay on your boat, and disappears back inside. Now Aaron understands. He is completely on his own. Aaron seals the cabin using wooden planks, locks every door and window tightly, and sets fire traps outside using flammable materials. He also finds a rifle left behind by the government for protection. That night, fully armed, he waits. As darkness falls, dozens of creatures crawl out of the water and move toward his cabin. Aaron opens fire, but the bullets barely slow them down. With no other choice, he ignites the fire traps. The creatures flee in fear, but the flames spread, and the cabin catches fire. Aaron tries to put it out, but when all hope is lost, he wraps himself in a blanket and runs outside. He hides behind a large rock. Rain begins to fall. Morning arrives. The cabin is destroyed, no longer safe to live in. Confused and desperate, Aaron looks toward the watchtower. He makes a dangerous decision. To survive, he must take over the watchtower, which means Gruner must be removed. Later, when Gruner comes out to collect water, Aaron aims his rifle from the hill above, ready to shoot. But suddenly a creature appears and attacks Aaron. He fights it off and is about to kill it. When Gruner shouts for him to stop, Gruner calmly explains, it's not dangerous. To Aaron's shock, the creature obeys Gruner. Gruner has tamed it. Gruner then says, why don't we become friends? With no other option left, Aaron agrees. Together, they begin collecting whatever supplies remain from the ruined cabin, and from this moment on, Aaron's nightmare on the island truly begins. Aaron finally confronts Gruner. He says, the previous weather officer didn't die from typhus, did he? You left him helpless, just like you tried to leave me. Isn't that murder? Gruner completely ignores the question. The sun is about to set, so without wasting time, they quickly gather supplies and return to the lighthouse. Later, Aaron notices that his hand is badly wounded. One of the creatures gently licks his injury. Aaron suddenly wakes up in fear. Gruner calmly explains, the saliva of these creatures eases pain. You passed out from shock during the attack. Now Gruner starts counting and listing all the bullets they still have left. The female creature stays close to him the entire time. Aaron asks, can you communicate with them? Gruner replies, I don't talk to them. I control them. They're like dogs. No matter how cruel the master is, a dog never abandons him. Aaron says, no one would ever imagine that creatures like these could exist here. I've read about isolated islands where unique species evolved over time, creatures that survived by staying hidden from the world. Maybe these beings are the same. They seem intelligent, almost human, and I feel this female creature is different from the rest. She can think, she can understand, but Gruner disagrees. He says, she once bit me. And remember this, a calm sea is more dangerous than a storm. Gruner then takes Aaron to the lighthouse control room, where the main light is operated. He explains, these creatures avoid light. Aaron finally asks the question that's been haunting him. The captain who brought me here, you could have escaped with him. Why didn't you? Gruner replies coldly, escape to where? If the outside world was so great, why did you come here? This island belongs to me. I live by my own rules. Aaron notices Gruner's name carved all over the island, a warning to anyone who might come here. Aaron says, I'm leaving the moment a ship passes by. I'll send a signal. Gruner laughs. No commercial ships pass through here. Now Aaron begins organizing his remaining belongings. The female creature approaches him, sniffing the objects, as if trying to understand him. Night falls. Gruner calls Aaron upstairs and hands him a rifle. He prepares for the hunt and warns, don't fire unless they reach the tower. Suddenly, Gruner's pet creature lets out a strange call. In response, the other creatures begin moving toward the lighthouse. Gruner starts shooting and yells at Aaron to fire, but Aaron freezes in terror. He retreats inside instead. Gruner is furious. The next morning, Gruner tells him, this island is mine. I don't carry dead weight. If you want to stay, you hunt. He sends Aaron to fetch water. Aaron fills the buckets and returns. They eat together in silence. Gruner then says, tonight, you get your final chance. As darkness rises, the creatures charge toward the tower again. One of them nearly kills Aaron, but Gruner saves him at the last second. He shouts, this is your last chance. Shoot. Aaron finally fires, but suddenly Gruner locks the door from inside, leaving Aaron alone outside to die. Terrified screams echo through the night. Gruner doesn't open the door. Morning comes. When Gruner finally opens it, Aaron is covered in blood, but still alive. Something inside Aaron has changed. The fear is gone. From that night onward, both men fight together every night, hunting the creatures and defending the tower. Aaron scratches a mark on the wall for every passing day. Life becomes a cycle, night after night, always the same. He lives with Gruner, yet feels completely alone. Gruner treats him like a servant, not a companion. 3 months pass inside the lighthouse. Not a single ship appears. Aaron realizes he may never escape this monster-filled hell. Aaron is preparing medicine using herbs. He looks at Gruner and says, you call this creature your pet, but you've never even given her a name. Have you ever thought that her crying is what attracts the monsters to us? And if that's true, why would she lure her own kind to their deaths? Gruner replies coldly, remember one thing, we are the invaders here. We are their enemies. Killing and conquering, that's human nature. Aaron asks, so you care about them? Gruner answers without hesitation, no, I want them wiped out. Aaron begins exploring the entire island more closely. We see him shaving, trying to maintain some sense of normal life. Night falls. For several weeks now, the creatures haven't attacked. Aaron says, maybe they migrate during winter, like whales, or maybe they've realized they can't defeat us. Gruner shakes his head. They're animals. They're just increasing their numbers for the next attack. That night, Gruner orders Aaron to stand guard. The next day, Aaron notices the female creature collecting seashells. She seems calm, almost curious. Aaron begins to like her. She spends most of her time near him now. When Gruner refuses to give her food, Aaron feeds her himself. Gruner doesn't like Aaron's sympathy. Aaron names her Honorous. That night, while Aaron and Gruner are playing chess, the creatures suddenly attack in massive numbers. They're everywhere. The entire island is overrun. Aaron and Gruner fight desperately, shooting non-stop, but the bullets run out. Still, the creatures keep coming. They retreat inside and lock the doors, but even that doesn't stop them. Some creatures force their way in. Gruner is badly injured in the leg, but he manages to reach the lighthouse control room. Aaron tightly bandages Gruner's wound. To ease his pain, Aaron begins singing a lullaby. At sunrise, the creatures finally retreat back into the sea. Aaron says, our supplies are running out. We can't survive another attack like this. We're almost out of bullets too. Aaron steps outside and suddenly sees a ship on the horizon. He rushes inside and grabs the flare gun. Aaron is hopeful, but Gruner stops him. He says, I am the king of this world. I know how to survive. Gruner grips Aaron's face tightly. Aaron roars angrily at Gruner. Startled, Gruner lets Aaron go. Furious, Gruner turns his anger toward Aris. Terrified, she runs away. Aaron tries to grab the flare gun again, but Gruner refuses. Aaron shouts, you're a broken, hopeless man. You're afraid of losing control, afraid of losing what little you still have. Time passes. Aaron reaches a massive giant skeleton on the island. Aranis is there. Aaron shows her a small wooden boat model he made by hand, trying to explain that he wants to leave this island. Aranis leads him to a hidden location. There, Aaron discovers a real boat. He's overwhelmed with hope. He rushes to tell Gruner. Gruner replies calmly, I know about that boat, and I know you want want to leave my island." He continues, "But you'll die, either from hunger, or the cold, or the stormy sea." Aaron asks where the boat came from. Gruner explains, it belonged to Portuguese sailors. Their ship was trapped in a violent storm. They tried reaching the lighthouse by boat, but by morning, none of them survived. Aaron asks what were they doing so far from commercial routes. Gruner answers, it was an illegal ship, dynamite smugglers. He adds, I found boxes of dynamite, but most of it was useless, flooded by seawater. Later, Aaron opens an old crate and discovers a vintage diving suit. An idea strikes him. He tells Gruner, if we repair the boat and use this suit to dive underwater, we can recover the dynamite. We could destroy all the creatures at once. Gruner immediately refuses. I'm not going back into that water. Aaron starts repairing the boat on his own. At the same time, he grows closer to Aneris. Gruner watches silently, and it deeply unsettles him. The next day, Gruner suddenly says, I've changed my mind. We leave right now. They take the boat and head toward the sunken ship. Because winter has arrived, the water is freezing cold. On the boat, they finish setting up the ropes and the air pump. Aaron puts on the diving suit and enters the water. From above, Gruner keeps pumping oxygen to him. Underwater, Aaron hooks the rope onto a box of dynamite and gives a signal through the rope. Gruner pulls the box up. One by one, they manage to recover 3 more boxes. But suddenly, a creature crashes into Aaron. He loses balance and sinks deeper. At the same moment, Gruner stops sending oxygen. Aaron desperately pulls the pipe to signal him, but it's useless. Gruner wants him dead. Realizing this, Aaron removes his diving suit and swims back to the surface with everything he has left. Gruner pulls him back onto the boat. They return to shore by dawn. When Gruner opens one of the boxes, he finds ruined dynamite and gets disappointed. But when Aaron opens another box, the explosives are still perfectly usable. Gruner's mood instantly changes. He's thrilled. Together, they place dynamite all around the lighthouse. Snow begins to fall. Winter has officially begun. Since the creatures haven't attacked for days, they start taking turns guarding the tower. One morning, Aaron notices Gruner's bed is empty. He rushes to the top of the tower and finds Gruner frozen stiff from standing in the cold all night, still holding the detonator. Carefully, Aaron removes the controller from Gruner's hand and brings him inside. He doesn't want a single mistake to blow up everything they worked for, so Aaron secretly removes the detonators from both sides. Later, as they're drinking tea, Antares brings them food, starfish. Suddenly, Gruner attacks her. He shouts, she must have warned the others. She told them about the dynamite. He starts beating her. Aaron steps in to stop him. Gruner turns his rage toward Aaron and says, we'll ambush them. We'll leave the main door open and lure them inside. You attack from the stairs. When they get close, I'll blow everything up. Antares cries in fear. Aaron feels terrible, but he can't stop what's coming. That evening, Aaron places a lantern outside the house and leaves the door open. He takes his position. Gruner loads his rifle and stands near the detonator. Night falls. For a long time, nothing happens. Impatient, Gruner grabs Antares and forces her to sing. Terrified, she begins her haunting summoning song. Suddenly, the lantern outside goes out. Everything is about to change. Aaron rushes out and relights it, but a creature attacks him. Aaron kills it with a sharp wooden spike. Now dozens of creatures begin moving toward the lighthouse. Aaron shoots as many as he can, but there are too many. They keep breaking in. Aaron retreats upstairs and locks the door. Gruner activates the detonator, but nothing happens. He shouts that the explosives aren't responding. The creatures start climbing the tower. Gruner keeps shooting. Aaron joins him and quickly reconnects the detonator wires. As soon as the button is pressed, a massive explosion shakes the island, but Gruner isn't satisfied. He triggers the explosives closer to the lighthouse too. The blast throws both of them off their feet. Morning arrives. Amazingly, Aaron is still alive. He wakes Gruner as well. Dozens of creatures lie dead, some still writhing in pain. Gruner coldly finishes them off. Aaron tries to force himself to help, but he can't. He notices bone necklaces around their necks. Horrified, Aaron says, we made a terrible mistake. They think, they feel, just like humans. Gruner throws the necklace away. Aaron is shaken. After that night, Aaron never returns. Gruner says calmly, that's how I found her the first time, trapped in a net. I saved her life. She's like a dog. She always comes back. She will this time too. The next day, Aaron sits by the shore. He sees the creatures swimming in the distance. An idea strikes him. He forms a stone circle on the beach and places the small boat he built inside it. He wants peace, a truce. That night, while standing guard, he keeps watching the boat, but no one comes. While Gruner sleeps, Aaron searches through his belongings. He finds an old photograph of the previous weather officer, standing beside the same woman from the diary. Suddenly, everything makes sense. Gruner was the first weather officer. He never told him. The next morning, Aaron walks back to the shore. The boat is gone. Nearby, a baby creature is hiding. Aaron gently throws his torch away, showing that he means no harm. The baby creature becomes curious and slowly looks at the burning torch. Moments later, Aaron steps out from her hiding place. Soon, more creatures begin to appear. Aaron feels nervous, but the baby creature walks up and returns Aaron's boat to him. Suddenly, Gruner arrives and starts firing his gun. Aaron shouts, "Stop! You've already taken too much from them. They want peace now." He continues, "Lower your rifle. Show them you don't want to hurt them." Gruner orders Aaron to return to the lighthouse, but she refuses. Gruner starts speaking like a madman. "You're not leaving me. You belong to me." He turns and walks back toward the lighthouse. The creatures don't attack him. They want peace. But then, Gruner fires a flare gun at the baby creature. The child screams in pain and dies. Aaron freezes. He can't save it. Terrified, all the creatures flee back into the sea. Aaron begs Aaron to stay, but she disappears as well. Rage fills Aaron. He runs back to the lighthouse and punches Gruner. A brutal fight breaks out. Both of them crash down to the lower floor. Gruner grabs an axe. Aaron stabs him in the back with a dagger, but Gruner keeps fighting, beating Aaron mercilessly and raising the axe to kill him. Then Gruner suddenly stops. He calls Aaron by his real name, Aldor. "You're not a killer." Aaron freezes. Gruner drops the axe and says, "Everything I did, it was because of love." He walks outside. His dream was simple, to die under an open sky beneath the stars. He had lived his life his own way, and now he gives himself to the creatures. They surround him, they kill him, they consume him. Aaron shuts the door. Trembling, he picks up the axe, ready to defend himself if they come for him next. But they don't, because Gruner was never their enemy. Humans were, and Gruner is gone. 1 year later, a new weather officer arrives at the same lighthouse. Aaron now looks just like Gruner once did. The officer wakes him and says, "We're here to replace the weather officer. Do you know what happened to the first one?" Aaron calmly replies, "He died of typhus." The same lie. Because Aaron has chosen to stay. He wants peace. He wants to protect the sea creatures. He lives with Anaris now. But when the officer arrives, Anaris dives back into the ocean. Aaron no longer wants to return to the human world. He belongs here, with them. If this story made you feel something, if it made you question who the real monsters are, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this story with someone who loves deep, haunting films.